It was a week-long trial, which is not that long. Jury, less than 3 hours. Carmelo Anthony, guilty. Murder. 35 years. Okay? 35 years, guilty, stabbed the white kid in the heart. Those in the jury, they saw a video, they heard testimony. It's pretty cut and dry. You would think that this would be a common ground, sort of tentpole moment. Black? White? Hey, we don't want to rally around very clearly criminal murderers, right?
How is that very clearly a murder? That makes no sense. Okay? And this is the thing about it, right? Everyone goes, this is like cut and dry. The fact of the matter is this. And again, we got the news from ABL. I agree with him. You know what I mean? I don't think this was supposed to be a black and white thing, but it just blew out of proportion to this ridiculous race baiting thing. But the thing about it is this: a kid, whether it be black or white, went to a tent to get dry. The other kid, whether it be black or white, decided to take it upon himself to go up to the other kid, and it wasn't because he was black, it was just because you're in the wrong tent. Now, the kid, who's a student of the school, basically went up to this other kid. Whether he's a student of the school or not, I don't really know, but decided to try to force this other kid off out of the tent rather than get an adult, because there was just the option. He could have done what he did, which he shouldn't have, apparently. Force the kid out, or get an adult so that he can force the kid out, which would have been the better option. Okay? That's apparent to me. Versus, I'm going to go ahead and start a fight with a kid where you don't know they have a knife or a gun or anything like that. You don't know this, and you're striking up a fight with a kid where you could have just said, "Hey, it's cool. I'm gonna get an adult. They'll handle it."
Unfortunately, there still is a divide in this country where some people think black, therefore this was some kind of railroading. They really should have put Carmelo.
It was.
The judge? I happen to be.
Unfortunately, and this is the thing about it, and then I agree with ABL. He brought up a good point. People who have done lesser things have gotten lesser time. And this is the most ridiculous thing in the world. You mean to tell me that, people that do the same thing, basically get two different sentences? And it was apparent to me that this has to be a race thing. This was ridiculous.
Life would be the only leniency beyond execution, and that's only if you renounce the black activist community. You have to come out and say, I was tricked to hate white people, I justified my violence because of these professional activists, and it was a lie straight from the pit of hell, and I will devote the rest of my life to fighting these people, to fighting the Black Lives Matter, to fighting the Al Sharptons of the world, to fighting the Jesse Jacksons, to fighting the race-baiting Barack Obama types, the Crockett's of the world. Otherwise, execution, and my leniency for that, and only that, would be life in prison. I prefer 1,000 lifetimes or two.
Yeah, I'm glad he's off of YouTube.
Carmelo Anthony, guilty of murder.
Yeah, for stabbing a white kid. This punk kid right here. This kid who could have gotten a fucking adult decides, oh, I'm going to go ahead and take it upon myself.
Yeah. He should be executed.
You should be
He
executed.
should be executed. And the fact that anyone
Jesus fucking
has
Christ.
to be worried about saying that in 2026 is a problem. You killed an innocent person in cold blood. It's Texas. We do how we be. But people are afraid because, my God, you might be a racist. And we'll get to Belfast in a little bit. Are you more concerned about being accused of racism than you are losing your life? How about losing your country? That's where we are. Now, I am not saying, just to be clear, I'm going to treat you like adults throughout this segment, but I will preface it with, not all. But we'll get to the number as far as 70-something% of black Americans who support reparations. So, not all, but I am fatigued with and don't want to be around 70-something% of black Americans. Because if you believe that we should pay reparations, that's hate, just to be clear.
Well, I agree with you on that. Because here's the thing about it. My parents came from Jamaica. I don't see the point of me paying reparations to a bunch of people that I didn't enslave. These people have no idea what slavery is anyway. So why am I going to pay money to a bunch of people that don't appreciate their own history? And for that matter, why are we celebrating Black History Month? You know, and why? I look at my calendar, Juneteenth. What the hell are we celebrating this shit for? Okay? And again, I'm remiss to remember that whole Juneteenth where, you know, someone got shot or stabbed and a bunch of black people were jumping around on an ambulance like a bunch of monkeys. And then this one big kadonk cunt was like, you know, jerking an ambulance truck, which I'm surprised hasn't tipped over. Or at least their suspension being messed up. At either rate, you know, this is my whole point. You know, we should get rid of Black History Month. We should get rid of Juneteenth. Okay? I don't know why we're creating all these holidays for black Americans that don't celebrate it. Don't care to celebrate it. And you mean to tell me that they care about reparations when it's just another way of saying, I want free money? Screw that.
You want me to pay for something that I didn't do and you didn't experience. So not all, just like 70-something%. Just like when I say Mexican Americans, immigrants coming here who are on welfare, who aren't contributing, get out. Not all, just about like 68%, which is the number of Mexican American households that are dependent on welfare. Just 68%. Is that fair? Or will you say racism if I'm literally addressing the statistic to the decimal? Not all. 68.
So like I said, I can agree with you on certain points, but here's the thing about it. Get your facts straight. That kid should have gotten an adult. That kid should not have started a fight. And Carmelo Anthony got overcharged with murder. And you want to have him executed for killing a white kid. It might be racist, it might not be racist, but I'll let you decide.